by the way, let's pile on some speed, shall we? Gotta ring it out in fourth. I really find this to be truly the creme de la creme. Man, this thing is so good. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Random Guy on the Internet Complains About Motorcycle Things. We're leaving the boys here at Motivation. Just did a little fun photo shoot that y'all probably have seen already on Instagram with their two V4 SPs and our giveaway Ducati Street Fighter V4S. That was pretty awesome. But the title of today's video is, I got a bone to pick, guys. I really do. I've got a bone to pick with the people who really believe that they need wind protection on motorcycles. We're going to chat about it today. Let's get into it. Oh, I just heard a V4 SP with the SC Project exhaust on it, and God, now this just does not sound right without it. But we are getting the SC Project exhaust on this bike, which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, this is a giveaway bike. Go to shop.yamanube.co, get entered to win it. Don't miss it. Becoming a member on yamanube.co is actually a better way to get entered to win it, but don't tell anybody I told you that. So, I've got a long ride on the highway back to where I need to be, and I kind of wanted to touch base about wind protection on bikes. I see this a lot, especially from like older Goldwing guys and, you know, that sort of crowd. And the thing I want to let you guys know is that the whole wind protection thing is really overrated. I'm not just saying that because, you know, I don't ride super long distances or I'm on a naked bike right now. I have put down a ton of miles on the street on naked bikes and doing that sort of thing. And I really think that the vast majority of people vastly overrate their need for wind protection on motorcycles. I've often found that riding around on the street, you know, unless you're doing huge 300, 400, 500 mile days, your average weekend ride, I don't really feel the need for wind protection. I think a lot of riders kind of get in this mindset that they need a fully faired bike, they need the wind protection, they need the fairings, they want to cut through the air. Guys, I mean, this bike and most naked bikes will happily do 120, 130 miles per hour. Yes, your body is a bit of a sail in the wind at that point, but it's really not so bad. It's really not that crazy bad to have a little bit of wind buffeting when you're on a bike like this, you know? Actually, I really prefer having the feeling of the wind because then I can kind of gauge my speed a little bit better. I've found that when I'm on bikes like the Goldwing or anything with a big windshield like an ADV bike, it's hard to get a sense of how much speed you're really piling on exactly, which, by the way, let's pile on some speed, shall we? Ring it out in fourth. Could have downshifted at least 2 gears there. But I really find stuff like this to be extremely comfortable on a naked bike. You know, your 70 to 90 mile per hour highway cruising, and then all the twisty road stuff that we want to do on sport bikes, that's perfectly comfortable too. I think you only should be considering a big windshield on your bike or a fully faired bike if you're one of two people. If you're the type of dude that is going to be packing on, you know, 300, 400, 500 miles a day in the saddle, you're crossing huge distances, you're sticking mainly to big highways, you're a Harley road glide kind of guy, sure, get a bike with a lot of wind protection because that's going to make a lot of sense. But, you know, the other kind of group are the guys who just want to go do stupid highway pulls and try to beat their buddies in a straight line. Yes, you will be going faster and you will be able to get better acceleration on a fully faired motorcycle, especially in the top speed arena. So if you're doing 60 to 160 pulls with your buddies, which I really don't condone, but I know a lot of you out there, you buy these bikes to do these sorts of things, even though I tell you not to. And I just think that that's the only use cases for which you'd want wind protection. The other big thing about a naked bike over a fully faired bike is the riding position. I really think that, you know, even though on a fully faired sport bike you're more hunched over, you're more in the pocket because it's a race bike, you know, you technically have wind protection. I really feel that the more upright stance of a naked bike is more comfortable despite the fact that the wind is buffeting my chest a little bit. And it's something you get used to pretty quick. I don't really feel the need to kind of have a little windscreen or to tuck in here. I feel that this motorcycle is very comfortable because of the ergonomics on it. And furthermore, naked bikes don't have all the plastics, and so servicing them is a whole lot easier too. You don't have to worry about all the crap that's on the side of the bike and pulling it off and on. And I just really feel like that's why we've seen the dominance of naked bikes in the past 10, 15 years or so in the sport bike segment, and street sport bike segment specifically. I think we've all collectively grown and matured as riders. I know a lot of you still are out there looking for, you know, your R6s and your ZX6s, and you want to go and do highway pulls with your friends. I know that still exists, but I think on the whole, the vast majority of people are evolving their tastes and needs for motorcycles. And it's wild when you consider, you know, this flagship Ducati here, what you're getting in a naked bike package. I mean, this thing absolutely shreds. It's so fast. It's blisteringly fast. And yet, it's comfortable. You can daily it anytime you want. Super friendly and easy to ride. If you got to do a bigger highway jaunt like I'm about to do today, no problem, you know. Sitting 40 to 45 minutes on a highway, no big deal on a bike like this. And then when you get out to the twisties, oh my god, it's so rewarding. You're still on a sport bike. It still feels so good. So, I don't know, guys. I think for y'all out there who are really concerned about wind protection and you're really worried about, you know, the highway commutes, because I know a lot of you out there have those commutes, right? A lot of people's commutes, they aren't just like, you know, 2 or 3 side streets and in 15 minutes you're there. A lot of people are commuting big distances on highways, you know, 20, 30 miles on a highway to get to their place of work versus where they live. And you want to do it on a motorcycle. And I'm here to tell you to not overthink it. I think a lot of guys and girls, but mostly guys, let's be honest, overthink riding a motorcycle and what it's going to do and how it's going to be and what you need to accomplish a task. You can do basically anything with any motorcycle, barring the extremes. I mean, I took a freaking Royal Enfield on track, for God's sake. People take 550-pound bikes off-road, and many people around the world commute on little 125s on the highway, no problem. You know, you don't need a Goldwing to commute on the highway. You don't need an adventure bike with wind protection to do it on the highway. Yes, it's going to make it a little bit more comfortable, but I think that you're sacrificing a lot, and you really need to think about your use case with these bikes. Where do you live? What are you going to be doing with it? How are you going to be riding it? And you'll come to find that a lot of these bikes are very flexible for what you're asking them to do. Again, like this machine, this freaking flagship sport bike from Ducati. This is a perfectly fine riding experience on the highway. There's nothing wrong with it, other than the fact that I'm a little buffeted in the chest here. But beyond that, I'm having a ton of fun being on this bike because of the riding experience it provides overall, and the fact that it's a little more comfortable than the Panigale V4. You know, one thing I'm noticing on the V4, the more time I spend with it, number one, I really love it. God, this bike is so good. But number two, I'm really noticing the torque limiting in first through fourth gear. If you're banging through gears between like 7 to 10,000 RPM, if you go from fourth to fifth, you actually really feel that fifth pulls quite a bit harder. Ducati's definitely limited the torque in first through fourth, and I can't wait to see what it's going to feel like after we have cleaned it up with an exhaust and a fuel mapping that's going to make sense for it, and a flash that can fix some of those issues. It's not like it's not rideable right now or anything, but it's just really nice to be able to have that perfectly linear, smooth power band. So click it down into fourth. Yeah, there's a big difference into fifth. Big difference. Man, what an animal of a bike. And that's not even getting it out to redline. Super fast, but super confidence inspiring all at the same time, which is just the best. Yeah, I don't know when this video is going to be published, but I am, at the time of filming this, taking this out to the track next weekend. In exactly 7 days, I'll be on track with this thing. And I can't wait to test it out. Cannot wait. Bopping around on the surface roads here and kind of the twisty roads we have here in Austin, it already feels amazing. I can't even imagine what it's going to feel like when we got it all dialed in at the track. It's going to be so much fun. Lord almighty, that's fifth gear. That's got speed, baby. That's got speed. What a sound this thing makes too. Love it. Low in the RPMs around town, sounds like a big nasty twin. You get it up over that 6,000 to 7,000 RPM, this cool changeover happens or starts snarling and just turn into that nasty V4 sound. God, it's incredible. I know a lot of you in the comments have asked me, and I'll try to answer this question right now. Would I have a ZH2 over the Street Fighter V4S? And they're two totally different riding experiences. The ZH2 is the most coked out naked bike I've ever ridden in my life, and it is massively compromised in a lot of ways. Really massively compromised. Whereas the Street Fighter V4S is crazy fast, but crazy refined and crazy good to ride. The ZH2, I mean, I was scraping pegs with it at the track. I cannot imagine that's going to happen on the Street Fighter V4S, unless I've low-sided it and then it's careening off the track. That's when it's actually going to scrape pegs. But I really find this to be truly the creme de la creme. Man, this thing is so good. I can't, you know, I was talking with Nate over at Motivation. He's ridden the Street Fighter V4 a couple times, and you just can't fault the thing. You can't find anything that it does incorrectly or bad. There's kind of quirks about it, but there's nothing it does that's bad or weird or not acceptable. God, it's so good. And it's kind of like, where do we go from here? Where do we go with these motorcycles in the future? Like, what, do we need more power? This thing's already limited in first and fourth gear, and only fifth and sixth does it give you the actual full power. So they, you know, what are they going to make more power? What for? Do you need more electronics? I guess. I mean, you already have everything being controlled for you. You have electronically adjustable suspension dialing it in every millisecond. You have these brakes that are just insanely powerful. You have a wet weight that is perfect for a street bike. I mean, sure, it could be a little lighter, but what for? So it can accelerate harder or handle better? It already handles and accelerates really, really well. Yeah, and it's easy and fun to ride. That's what I was telling Nate, is I think that the next frontier for motorcycling is making these kinds of bikes super easy and approachable to ride, like Ducati's done with the Street Fighter V4S. It's just extremely nice and playful and usable for the average enthusiast. You know, I think the average Street Fighter V4S buyer is not really a super dedicated track day bro like myself. Maybe doesn't have the skill set to really wrangle a bike like this. And that's okay, because Ducati's built it in such a way that it's gonna still be fun to ride. So yeah, still head over heels with the V4S, guys. This bike is absolutely incredible. But that's gonna kind of be my spiel for today. What do you think about wind protection on these bikes? Do you think naked bikes are overrated for the wind protection? Are you a sport touring dad with a Versus 650? You're about to tell me how wrong I am and how comfortable and better your bike is than the Street Fighter V4S. Spoiler alert, it is not. It is not. Everyone knows that it is not. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Remember, this is a giveaway bike. Head over to shop.yamanoob.co or yamanoob.co to get entered to win it. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Keep watching.